Howdy, friends. Steve DePoe with the Rose Realty team here with this week's real estate vlog for North Texas. Before we get started, we ask you to go to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Let's Do Real Estate Texas. There's no charge, but you will be alerted to updates and changes to our series Spotlight on Community, Focus on Small Business, and of course, our weekly real estate updates on North Texas. Thank you. Let's get started. You know, I get asked a lot by friends and acquaintances, what's the difference between real estate agencies? Why should I go to one as opposed to the other, etc. like that? And you know, for the short answer is, don't bother. Just come to the Rose Realty team. But I digress. There's really two things that are should be important to you when you choose somebody to help you buy or sell real estate. The first is how you get along with that person, because you know what? Here's what it comes down to. When you decide to buy or sell your home, you're going to be working with that person very, very closely. They're going to become your BFF, okay, for 2-3 months or longer. If you're looking for a house, hell, most recently I helped 3 people buy houses, and I probably worked with them between 6 and 9 months. Okay, so you're working with them for 6 or 9 months, potentially really closely. And the question is, do you, number one, get along with that person, and do you, number two, trust that person? Okay, because you're going to be telling them things about your finances and your job and your family and blah blah blah, and you gotta know in your heart that you like and trust this person with part of your family's wealth, is what it comes down to. The second question you have to answer is, has this person's brokerage or agency given them the tools to succeed and help you, okay, in your search to either buy or sell real estate? And that's the question. Do they have the tools in order to do this real estate transaction? So this week's vlog, to answer that second question, is 6 ways Keller Williams can help you buy or sell your home. And I'm calling this the complete package. And you'll understand what I mean when we start to get into it. So what's the first tool that Keller Williams and Go Management gives the Rose Realty team? That's iFinder. Now, what iFinder is it's a system. Your house needs a little bit of work. Maybe you need painting and carpeting. Maybe the backyard is, there's like no grass. Maybe your kitchen cabinets are like 35 years old or something like that, right? So your house needs a little bit of work, right? Now you've heard about these programs before. I mean, everybody under the sun almost has them, right? You've heard these commercials. You get your price. No open houses. Nobody coming through your house. You don't have to take pictures. Those types of things, right? Okay. Everybody's got them. The I in iFinder here, the first I, is basically investment. Okay, all these programs are developed to have somebody come in and buy your property, fix it up or invest in it, and then sell it or flip it. Okay, here's the difference between the Go Management and the Keller Williams product and all of these others. Okay, when you talk to us about the iFinder program, we're going to bring in between 3 and 7 investors to take a look at this property. Okay, take a look at your property and invest in it. Now, they all know they're competing against other people, and so it's not a whole lot different than if we were selling your house on MLS, except all of these investment companies, all the investment guys, they have the cash. They're just going to write you a check and here you go. And so they're all competing against one another to buy your property. That's what it comes down to. All these other companies that have got a similar program, they usually only have one investor per city or per location. So for the Dallas Metroplex area, think of one of these other companies that advertises this program. They've only got one investor. They've only got one investor floating out here, and he says, "Hey, look, we've got this house over here on Main Street," and he's going to say, "Okay, give me some pictures." Okay, and they're basically going to undercut the value of your house. Not with the iFinder and Keller Williams and Go Management. Okay, what they're going to do is they have between 5 and 7 people are going to investors are going to come in. They're going to take a look at the property. They're going to compete against one another, and bam, you're going to get top of the line offer here. So that's for a property that needs work. You don't want to bother doing it. You're just tired of it. Maybe you're a little bit up there in age, or you've got too busy at work, or your kids or something like that, or whatever. Bam, you can do this and you can get out. Now, let's talk about another product we have called Homeward. Homeward really works really well in today's environment. Okay, so basically what it is you want to buy a property. Okay, but you haven't sold your house yet. Of course, you got to live in it. You need some place to live, right? Okay, so you haven't sold your house, maybe even haven't put it on the market yet, and then I find you a house. Hey, how about this house over here? You love it. Okay, now what? Now you're competing against, you've heard the stories. You're competing against maybe 5 or 6 other people who want to buy that same house. Okay, and so it's going to be based upon your offer and what kind of contingencies you have on the contract. Now, if you have to sell your house first before you can buy this other one, that seller is going to say, well, wait a minute, I've got 3 out of these 5 people who don't have to sell a house. That's where Homeward comes in. What Homeward does is they come in and they buy the house for you, and they charge you like 1.7% purchase price, or we call it rent. They charge you 1.7% rent on that house. Okay, so they buy that house, we close, you move your stuff out of your house. Your house is listed, by the way, by that point, but you remove your stuff out of your house, you move it to the new one. We're trying to sell your house for you. Chances are we're going to sell your house before you move out, before you close on the new one. But if you don't, you're now in the new one, paying 1.7% rent, and you got all your stuff over there, and we're trying to sell your old house. It's slick. You can then what that means is you can put in an offer on the new house for cash. So now you're competing on a level playing field with every other person or every other couple that wants to buy that house. Keller Offers. Now, Keller Offers is a little bit different than iFinder, in that what Keller Offers is basically they put an offer in on the property, and they know your house is in great shape. It doesn't need any improvement or investment. So they basically just buy you out of the house. Okay, they buy you out of the house. The deal is that you purchase your next house through another Keller Williams agent. Okay, so if you're looking in Metroplex, you'll of course when it comes to the Rose Realty team. But if you're going to, let's say you're going to Arizona, let's say you're going to Phoenix, you'll look for a Keller Williams agent there. And if you keep it in the Keller Williams family, everything's copacetic and everybody's happy. And so they buy your house at fair market value, okay, and get you out of your house so you can move on. And then what they do is then they turn around and sell it, basically, okay? So it's basically a middleman in the sales process. MLS Quick Sale. So what MLS Quick Sale is all about pricing strategy. What we do is we take an analysis of your house, CMA or competitive market analysis, and we say your house is worth $300,000, but you want to get out of there as quickly as possible. So what we do is then we price it, then we list it at maybe $280. Okay. Now people are going to say, wait a minute, $280 for this house? Oh my goodness, that's a bargain. And people are going to come in and they're going to make an offer on your house. Chances are it's going to sell for more than $280. But what it does is generates all that interest in your house quickly, so that we can get it sold in that first weekend, and we can get it out. We can get you on your way to your next house. Go buy a registry. Now, Go Buy a Registry is something that Go Management sponsors. We've got like 100,000 Keller Williams agents and like a million buyers nationwide. And so let's say you're living there in Flower Mound. We register your house in with Flower Mound. Excuse me, we register your house in the buyer registry in Flower Mound. And then all the people, the million buyers nationwide, who want to move to Flower Mound then say, hey, Bing, here's a house. Now it's almost like the full-blown multiple listing service, or MLS, but the difference is that it goes nationwide. So it's easier for somebody it's easier for somebody in Oregon to say, hey, here's this house in Flower Mound I might be interested in buying, because it goes nationwide. It's very slick. It's an internal go management registry thing. And it doesn't necessarily go, out to, all 330 million people in the United States, but it goes to the buyers who want to register with Keller Williams and, buy this Keller Williams house. And then, like I just said, a full MLS presentation. This is just like everybody else's. This is just like everybody else's MLS service that they provide. Only difference between the Rose Realty team and these other ones is we've been known to go nutso when it comes to marketing your house. Video, drone shots, pamphlets, brochures, advertisements in magazines and newspapers and Facebook and Twitter and all of those and any other new social media that might be coming out. And so we do that full-blown that full-blown registry, that full-blown advertising package. We spend we with the Rose Realty team spend a lot of money on advertising our clients, so they sell as quickly as possible, so they get the highest value possible. Now, as a special bonus, the 0+ mortgage by Keller Williams. This is a cool product. So if anybody in the transaction has Keller Williams as their agent. So as an example, if I'm showing you houses, bam, you're eligible for this. If I'm listing a house and you're a buyer coming in with a different agency, let's say Remax or somebody like that, then bam, you're eligible. Okay, it's cool. So what it is we got the rates that the Keller Williams mortgage, the Keller mortgage uses is competitive with every other rate throughout the Metroplex. But what they do is they waive a lot of the closing fees. So you don't have a lot of these closing fees that these other agencies and title companies put on you. At the same time, at the end of closing, they write you a check for $1,000. Why? Two reasons. You've already had some expense. You've gone through a home inspection, which probably cost you $500 or $600. You've gone through application fees and all those kinds of things, right? And so they give you $1,000 to reimburse you, number one. And number two, you've just closed on your house. Hey, go have a nice dinner. Okay, very cool, very cool. Okay, now, so what is the punchline here? There's really, when you think about it, when you roll these things together, there's no other agency or brokerage in the Metroplex that has all of these lines of products that Keller Williams, Go Management, and the Rose Realty team has to service their clients. It's a phenomenal package. It's probably the greatest collection of tools that you've never heard of. Because to be honest with you, Keller Williams, we don't do a great job at advertising these things. Everybody and their cousin knows about all these other agencies that's got these tools and these things. Keller Williams, we don't do a great job on advertising them because I think they rely on us agents and the brokerage to do that. But so here I am here telling you about it, right? But this is a phenomenal setup, this phenomenal package of products that they've designed just for me to help our clients. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's great. Next week, buying or renting when you're retiring. Cool topic for many of us. For the vast majority of people in this country, the greatest generation and after, interesting topic to talk about it. Buying or renting during retirement. This is Steve DePoe with the Rose Realty team. I'm going to bounce.